Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to ICAI Foundation online class. And thank you so much for your feedback yesterday. It was really heartening to see that all of you are on the same page and you understood whatever was being told. Now, as I told you yesterday, I will quickly rush through active and passive. That's for the revision. I'm not going to speak anything. I'll just run through the slides so that you remember whatever we did yesterday. And then I go back to simple complex compound. Okay, because all three have got to be dealt with so that you understand them perfectly. Just give me a minute and I will share.
Recording in progress.
Yeah. So I told you this is active voice. I told you I'm not going to speak. This will be just for 5 minutes where I run through the slides for you. And then we will move on to simple complex compound. Yeah. I'll just run through the slides for you to read through so that you recall whatever we did yesterday. Huh. Yeah, so use of by and tense alone are important for active and passive. Don't confuse yourself with a reported speech. It is in reported speech that you have to look for tenses, numbers, singular or plural, adverbs. Yesterday becomes previous day, now becomes then. Okay, you have a whole range of things to change in reported speech, but not so with the active passive. It's only the use of by and tense. I'm not going to wait for these because this we did yesterday. Yeah, that's it. So now we move on to simple complex compound. Just give me a minute and I will. So I'll run through simple and compound and then take up complex because that will alone give you clarity as to how to identify what type of sentence. Yeah. Here and here I share my screen. Yes. Oh, what happened? Just give me a minute. I think the PowerPoint is taking time to open. Yeah. Here we are. Put it on slideshow. Yeah. So understanding, oh, this is the other one. Okay, I'll finish the previous slideshow and then come to this because this is only complex. Okay, just give me a minute and I'll get that for you. Because I just wanted to show you all what we did in the previous class. Just give me a minute and I will be there. Yeah, simple complex compound. Sentence types 2. Phrases. Yeah. Yeah, here we are, and yeah, let me share my screen, and yes. So as I said, it will be first simple and compound because they are very easy to identify. And also believe me that in your question paper, you will not be asked to change from simple to complex or complex to compound. You will only be asked to identify what type of sentence it is. Okay. So this is the purpose, to have a variety of sentences when you speak or when you write. Also to understand the variety of sentences that are used in your course books. That will help you remember your lessons well. If you can understand what they mean, what kind of sentences they are, then it also helps you to understand your content really well. So we saw about the phrase and the clauses. Phrase, is a group of words that does not give you complete meaning, but a clause is something that will give you a complete meaning. How do we get to know that? Because a clause will have a subject and a predicate, a subject and a main verb. That becomes a sentence. Okay. So there are two types of clauses. One is the main clause, another one is the subordinate clause. And a sentence can have a variety of these. A sentence can have two main clauses. A sentence can have two subordinate clauses, two or more subordinate clauses. And if you have a long winding sentence, it means that there will be a mix of these sentences. Okay, so this is just to brush up the independent clause and the dependent clause. Identify a phrase and a clause. Okay. This we did yesterday. This is just to brush up and recall so that you are comfortable identifying sentences. Predicate, subject is the noun with the article. For example, the boy ran fast. The boy is the subject. Ran fast is the predicate. The subject is the article and the noun. The rest of the words are predicate. Okay, so here we go. Compound sentences. That's for Sanjana. Meaning of predicate, I did tell you all yesterday, but let me repeat. The subject and the subject is the noun and the article. Okay. The rest of the words in a sentence are predicate. Okay. A compound sentence is composed of two or more main or independent clauses. It does not have a dependent clause. Okay. But the clauses are joined by a coordinating conjunction, a comma, a semicolon, and even a colon. They are joined by conjunctions and because, so, as. And here you have the list of conjunctions: and, but, or, for, not, yet, so. These are conjunctions. How do you identify compound sentence? You have one complete sentence and another complete sentence joined with these conjunctions. That will alone be a compound sentence. Okay. So this you did yesterday. I'm not going to run through today. Yeah, we've come to complex sentence. Yeah. Simple and complex sentence. How would you identify simple and complex sentence? Simple sentence has one subject and one verb. Andrea plays tennis on Fridays. So subject is Andrea. Plays tennis on Fridays is predicate. Plays is the main verb. It has one subject and one verb. That is a simple sentence. Now let's look at complex sentence. It has more than one subject and more than one subject and or verb. She is a gentlewoman who plays tennis well. Okay. Now, complex sentences are always governed by relative clauses. What are relative clauses? Who, which, that, where. Okay. Look at this sentence. She is a gentlewoman who plays tennis well. Who is a relative clause. Plays tennis well is only a phrase. She is a gentlewoman is a simple sentence. So if you find relative clauses in a sentence, that is easy to identify that it is a complex sentence. That I'm giving you a clue. Okay. Now state which of the following are compound and which is complex. Now how will you identify compound? When a sentence has two independent sentences and it is joined by a conjunction, that is a compound sentence. Complex sentence is a phrase and a main sentence which has a relative clause there. Okay, now let's see. First one example, the flash floods wiped out the town, but luckily there were no casualties. What's that? Very quickly, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences, and I'll give you 6 minutes. Quick. Actually, you can write it in your notebooks so that you are able to identify, or when you run through those sentences, you will know that this is the way it should be done. Yeah, Shubham, that's Kruti, Gunjan. Quick. Yes, I'm not saying the answer, I'm just calling out names. Pratidinya, Zeba, Avinash. Yes, you're right, but I'm waiting for more posts. I will wait for 2 minutes. Quick. No, I'm all right. Thank you, Kushdeep, for that concern. I'm all right. I just had an ice cream and therefore, don't worry. Yeah. Quick, you have 2 more minutes to finish. Come on fast. Yeah. I'm not going to say it now. Quick, I'll wait for all of you to post and then say. Quick. So you have to find out whether this is a compound or a complex. Okay. That's just to remind you. Quick. Yes, Shalini, Vishnu Varadan, Ali, Pushdeep, Kriti. Okay, shall I give you answers? Yeah, the time is up. Let me see. Yeah, the answers are there for you. Quick, you can check your answers. See if you are right. I'll give you a minute for that. Yeah. Zoom. Oh, yeah. Okay, now let's see one by one. Huh? Give me a minute. Yeah, the flash floods wiped out the town, but luckily there were no casualties. Okay. Is that a compound? No, that's a complex. You don't have two independent sentences. For example, look, luckily there were no casualties. Is that complex or compound? Yeah, that's a compound sentence because luckily there were no casualties can be an independent sentence. The flash floods wiped out the town is also an independent sentence. Therefore, it's a compound sentence. Okay, next one. He swam across the channel in 5 hours and set a new record with his achievements. Set a new record with his achievements is not compound because it's not an independent sentence. You don't have the he there again. You can't say set a new record with his achievements. Can't be a sentence by itself. So that is a complex one. If you cannot do this job, I will ask someone else to do it for me. Always relative clause and usage of if will be complex. You can take it for granted. Okay, the next one. He said that he was so unwell that he could not even get up from his bed. He said that he was so unwell is not complete. That he could not even get up from his bed, therefore it is a complex one. A man who serves his fellow human beings personally is more virtuous than a man who only donates money for a noble cause. If you look at the sentence, the second part of the sentence says, than a man who only donates money for a noble cause, it is not complete. Therefore, it is a complex sentence. It is a stitch in time that saves 9. That again is a complex one. Okay. Now, classify the following as simple complex compound or compound complex, where you have both in a sentence. Now, I'll give you time. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Now, it is 2:18. 2:23. You will start. You may start answering very quickly. I'm also writing the answer so that I know if the time I give you is right. Okay. Yeah, if they are dependent on each other, then yes, then they are complex. If they are not dependent, then it is a compound. Okay, I'll zoom it. Oh, if I zoom it, then it goes out of sight. Yeah, I think this should be good. The last sentence, I wanted to go to the market today. 2 is missing there. And the is repeated. It's a typo mistake. Yeah. Yes, Jyoti. Come on fast. I don't see you posting the answers. Quick. You have 3 more minutes to go. Rajesh, I can't use Hindi because I don't know Hindi. Nahi malum. What do I do? And the virtual classes are in English. We have said that, right? It's not a surprise for you. And English has got to be taught only in English. It cannot be in Hindi. Right? Okay, so we decided to go fishing and camping out at the lake. That's a simple sentence. This summer, our vacation should be both exciting and restful is again simple. After the tornado hit, my house was completely destroyed as a complex. Since we had only one plate, we had to take turns to eat our dinner is again complex. Lata and Suman cooked and served people through the day. Compound. No, Lata and Suman cooked and served people through the day is not compound, it's only simple. I wanted to go to the market today, but the thunderstorm prevented me from doing so is a compound sentence. Okay. Now, let me see if I have the answers. Let me check the answers. Yeah. So, the answers, yes. Now, look at these sentences. I want you to read them so that you understand for yourself how to identify the simple and the compound. It rained for 3 days. The streets in my neighborhood flooded. Okay. It rained for 3 days. So the streets in my neighborhood flooded. So the usage of so there tells you that it's a compound one. I'll zoom it for you. Yeah. Tom completed his work. He put in his binder. Tom completed his homework and put it in his binder. So that's a compound. Harris mowed the lawn. He earned $100. Harris mowed the lawn. So he earned $100. You see two simple sentences joined by a conjunction. That is a compound one. Okay. Answer for 4. Julie, you mean this slide or the previous slide? Vanshika. Which one do you mean? Are you still in the previous one? Simple. You have to identify with one subject and one predicate. Compound, 2 subjects and 2 predicates. Previous one. Give me a minute. Vanshika wants the previous. Where did I? Yeah, it's here. Okay, 4th one, simple. What's the 4th one? Since we had only one plate. Yeah. So this one, since we had only one plate, we had to take turns to eat our dinner is only a simple sentence. It's not a complex one. Okay. Usage of since. Now, we go on to this. I'll zoom it for you. Read through. Tom completed his homework. He put in his binder. Tom completed his homework and put it in his binder is a compound one. Harris mowed the lawn. He earned $100. Harris mowed the lawn, so he earned $100. Julie doesn't like seafood. She doesn't like cabbage. Julie doesn't like seafood, nor does she like cabbage. Okay. So now you see the difference between simple sentence has only one subject and one predicate, whereas a compound sentence has 2 simple sentences joined by a conjunction. That's what you need to look for. Okay. Now simple and complex. Just look at that. I did not go to the meeting. I was sick. I did not go to the meeting because I was sick. This is a compound sentence. I think there is a mistake there. I think I'll change it even here. Otherwise, I will forget. Just give me a minute. This is a compound sentence. Yeah. You may be wrong. I cannot say. Though you may be wrong, I cannot say. So this is a clear complex sentence. Okay. Though you may be wrong, I cannot say. But look at the simple sentence. You may be wrong. I cannot say. Now, he worked hard day and night. He did not wish to fail. He worked hard day and night as he did not wish to fail. The usage of, now, what are the words that determine a complex sentence? As, though, then. Relative clauses. Who, which, that, after the conjunction, the sentence should be related to the first main clause in case of compound. Yes. The examination ended, the students went home. The students went home when the examination ended. Okay, when again is a relative clause. So whenever you see this, you don't have to think twice. You will know that it is a complex sentence. The progress was slow, they were tired. As their progress was slow, they were tired. So usage of as. We found him in the house. He had formerly lived in that house. We found him in the house as he had formerly lived in the house. As, okay. The employee gave an explanation of his misconduct. The explanation was not accepted by his boss. Although the employee gave an explanation of his misconduct, want me to zoom? Yeah. Although the employee gave an explanation of his misconduct, it was not accepted by his boss. So what will be easy for you that will help you identify a simple and a complex, where you have, if I zoom, I'm afraid you will not get the full box. Yeah. So how would you identify a complex sentence? By these words, indicators, as, though, who, which, that, when. Okay. A simple sentence does not have all that stuff. So that's something that will help you identify in a shortcut. Okay, just give me a minute. Look at this. Now I'm not going to say anything. You have 5 sentences and I'll give you 5 minutes. Just go. I think it is quite big for you to see. Yeah. Complex sentences. Reading through these complex sentences repeatedly again and again and again, you will know just by a glance whether it's a simple sentence or a complex sentence. Okay. Now I'll give you 5 minutes. You want to note it down in your notebooks so that before the exam you can just revise. Quick. I'm giving you 5 minutes. And before you go for the exam, just brush through these sentences and you will remember how to go about it. Quick. After you finish, post you are done. Because I don't want to waste my time, nor do I want to give you less time. Okay? Quick. Avinash, I've already said PPTs will not be provided because I've taken them from different sources. Some sources demand a copyright permission. Okay? And therefore, it makes it difficult to share. You want to take screenshots, you want to copy it down, that is allowed. That you can do. Take notes. That will help you. So for you to just note down the sentences is not enough. It will be good for you to note down these subordinating conjunctions. That will help you. What kind of words will help you identify the sentences? That's what is important. Yeah, shall we move on? You have 2 more minutes. Done? Okay, super. Now look at this. This is a test for you. Barbara and Joan whispered and giggled all night. This is a multiple choice. You have to choose the right one. Quick, you can post it here. This is just one sentence and a multiple choice question. You have to say what type of sentence this is. Quick. Hey, no. Then what is the fun, na? I don't have to teach. I just show you the slides and you take a screenshot. No way. You will post the answers here. Screenshots are for sentences or some kinds of rules or instructions that you need to take. Otherwise, you just want to take screenshots of the slides that I show, then I don't need to be here at all. I just move the slides and then say I am done. That's not the way. I want you to post the answer here. Is that a compound sentence, Lakshita? Sahajpreet, Siddharth, you're right. Saima, you're right. Yeah, Liza is right. Rowan is right. But Lakshita and Sharatjit, you're wrong. Oh my. Zeba is wrong. Vishnu is wrong. Please think over. See, the sentence is very clear. Barbara and Joan whispered and giggled all night. You don't have two independent sentences there. And is there, but it just says giggled all night, right? It doesn't have a subject there. For a compound sentence, you must have two subjects and two main verbs. That's what is important. You got it? It is simple. Yes. Who says Kriti? You're saying it's complex. No way. Jyoti is wrong. Devesh is wrong. Please. A simple sentence has only one subject and one predicate. This is a very simple sentence. Okay, next one. Quick. Aditi, yes, your answers are visible. I'm not calling out everybody's name because no Sahaj breathe. See, in a compound sentence is very, very easy. You must have two subjects and two predicates with two main verbs. That is the only way to identify a compound sentence. Okay, now this one. Let's go to this. We decided to go fishing and camp out at the lake. Don't put a question mark, Vishnu. Pooja, you're wrong. Chitrank is wrong. I'm only calling out wrong answers. Liza is wrong. Falzan is wrong. Yeah, the rest of you are right. Quick, I'll wait for 2 more minutes. No way, Lakshita. Do you have two subjects and two predicates? No, it has only one subject. We decided to go fishing. We is a subject. The rest of it is predicate. You don't have two subjects and two predicates. Therefore, it is not a compound sentence. It is not complex either. It is a very simple sentence. Okay? Yes, it's just a simple sentence. Bhumika, it's not complex. Coordinating conjunction is just a clue, a hint for you to understand it may be a compound sentence. But if it does not have two main verbs or two subjects and two predicates, then it cannot be a compound sentence. Sheikh, it's not C. Suraj, it's not C. Sonali, it's not C. Surya, if I have not called out your name, it means you're right. Okay. Sonali, it's not D either. It's a very simple sentence. Okay, let's look at another one. So this exercise has been given to you only to help you understand how to identify. Those clouds promise rain, so we should hurry up and leave before we get caught in a flash flood. Bhumika, this is not joined by a conjunction. Okay? This is not joined by a conjunction. Look at that. We decided to go fishing is a sentence. And camp out at the lake cannot be an independent sentence. And we camped out at the lake will be a compound one. Here, it is only a phrase. Therefore, it is just simple. It's a simple sentence. It's not a compound sentence. Okay, now look at this. Those clouds promise rain, so we should hurry up and leave before we get caught in a flash flood. Quick, this is a tricky sentence. Let me see. Okay, let me explain to you how to identify. Those clouds promise rain is an independent sentence. So we should hurry up. That's another sentence which is independent. So that's compound. And then look at the next. And leave before we get caught in a flash flood is complex. Although it has and there is no subject that governs that sentence. So it is a compound complex sentence. Those of you who have not got it right, please understand why it is so. Now look here. Those clouds promise rain can be one sentence. You also have a comma there. So we should hurry up. So is a conjunction. We should hurry up can be an independent sentence. Okay. And leave before we get caught in a flash flood. And leave, although there is a conjunction, you don't have a subject to make them independent. So this is a compound complex sentence. Okay. Hey, most of you have not posted. Why, Lakshita? You sent me blank post. Sorry, ma'am. Complex compound. Lakshita, no, it is compound complex. There is no doubt about it. Okay, let me move on to the next one. Yeah, I'm not going to read it for you. You read it. Yeah, what's this sentence? I give you a minute on that. Quick. You want me to explain that again? Okay, now look at this. Those clouds promise rain. You have a comma there. And then, so we should hurry up. So is a conjunction. We should hurry up. We is a subject. Should hurry up is a predicate. You have one main verb. So together till hurry up, you have two main verbs, two subjects and two predicates. Those is a subject. We is another subject. This is joined with a conjunction so. So the first part is compound. Okay. Now let us look at this. And you have a conjunction that is only to extend the sentence. Leave before we get caught in a flash flood. Even if you think we get caught in a flash flood as a subject, it's not right because it's not a complete sentence. You understand? So this is a compound complex sentence. Okay. Now the next one. Since we had only gone a mile from camp, we decided to return before dark. What kind of sentence is that? I'm going to wait for you. Don't just get carried away by only conjunctions, because conjunctions can occur in complex and simple also. Quick. Somebody is servus. It's not compound because it does not have one, it does not have a conjunction. Two, it does not have two subjects. Three, it does not have two main verbs. Therefore, it is not a compound sentence. Yes, Pooja, you're perfect. It is a simple sentence. We saw a similar sentence before. Do you remember that? Since this is just a simple, Aditi, it's not complex. Sorry. Okay, quick. Let me go to the next one. After the tornado hit, my house was completely destroyed. What's that? Vishnu, since alone is not an indicator of simple sentence or a complex sentence. Okay. No, since alone cannot be, cannot tell you that this is a complex one. After the tornado hit, my house was completely destroyed is a simple sentence. Super. Some of you have written it as simple. Kushdeep, Pooja, Bhumika. Yeah. It's just a simple sentence. Zeba, Tarun, Harshita, Saifullah, Ankit. It's just a simple sentence. Yeah, since we had gone on, oh, you're talking about the previous one, Shell. Hey, I can't keep going back and forth, right? Since we had gone a mile from the camp, is not is a dependent one, incomplete. You're right, but it only adds meaning to the main sentence. We decided to return before dark, so it should be looked as a whole sentence. Okay. After the tornado hit, now we are here. It's a simple sentence. Let's look at the next one. See, I have brought in so many varieties of sentences so that you're clear about your learning. Okay. It might still be a puzzle, but do the exercises in your study material. That will help you understand, because the answers are there. Do the exercise and then look for the answers. Sakaldeep, it is not necessary that first it should be compound and then it should be complex, or first it should be complex and then it should be compound. It can be either way. It's a way we identify. Let me repeat. A simple sentence has one main verb and one subject. A compound sentence has two main verbs and two or more predicates. It will have a long winding sentence. A complex sentence has only one main verb, one subject, and a phrase that adds meaning. Yeah, this is a simple sentence, no doubt. Not a compound. Where is a compound? You don't have a conjunction at all. It's only a simple sentence. Yes, Sheikh. Yeah, Siddhartha. No, Sanjana, you're wrong. Okay, read this. See, I'm repeatedly telling you. A simple sentence, you can note this down. A simple sentence has one main verb and one subject. That's a simple sentence. A compound sentence has two main verbs and two subjects joined by a conjunction. You can write it down. A complex sentence has one main verb plus one subject plus a phrase to add meaning. That's a complex sentence. You want a break? Oh my God, it's not even an hour now. Why should we break now? Maybe At 3 o'clock, I'll give you a break. And then we move on to reported speech. By the time we'll finish this. Okay. Now look at this. Oh, I didn't give you the answer. John went to school today. Oh no. Older television sets had tubes. The newest models, which take less space, are digital ones. Okay, now let me see how many of you can write it. Tarun, 3 o'clock we'll have a break, not now. See, this is a tricky sentence. The oldest television sets had tubes. That's an independent sentence. It has a subject and a predicate. It has only one main verb. The newest models, which takes less space, are digital televisions. So this is a compound complex. Definition, okay. I've been saying this again and again and again. Let me say it again. Simple sentence has one main verb and one subject. Compound sentence has two main verbs and two predicates joined by a conjunction. Sorry, compound sentence has two main verbs and two subjects. That's why they can stand independently. They are joined by a conjunction, the and, because, but, whatever. Complex sentence is a sentence that has a subject plus a main verb plus a phrase governed by the relative clause. Who, which, that, when. Okay? Though, although, this becomes complex. So what kind of sentence is this? Older television sets had tubes. The newest models. Okay, the comma sometimes acts as a conjunction. That's what we are trying to say here. And this is a compound complex sentence because you have which takes less space. Did you get it? Let me repeat. Older television sets had tubes. That's a complete sentence. It has one subject and one main verb. There is a semicolon that guides it. The newest models, which takes less space. That bracket tells you that it is a complex one. Therefore, it is a compound complex sentence. Yeah? Read it quickly. I'll give you a minute on that. Done? I move on. Okay. Now let me see how many of you can say it correctly, because I've repeatedly told you how to identify a simple complex compound sentence. And remember, in your question paper, you will only have identification, identify. They'll not ask you the definition, okay? Or they'll not ask you even to convert it. Very quickly you will write. I'm waiting for you. And I'll give you 2 minutes. Done. Post the answer, Pushdev. Okay. Hey, Sayama, you're wrong. Sayama, you're wrong. How did you jump into that? You're not right. Let me tell you in simple terms. John went to school today, is a complete sentence. James remained at home is again a complete sentence. It has a subject and a main verb. But is the conjunction that joins that. Very simple. It's a compound sentence. Isha, sorry, Sonali, Mohammed, Tarun. No, dear, Vishnu, that comes quite often. You don't worry about that cough. When I'm enthusiastic, when I want to say more things, more is the cough. So don't worry about it. Sayama, how is this simple, Sayama? Please. How many times will I say? Compound because it has two subjects and two main verbs. It is governed by a conjunction. Very simple. It can neither be a simple nor a complex. It is a compound sentence. Okay, we move on. Okay, that's it. Okay. I have few more exercises. We'll do that also. And then we go to reported speech. Yeah, just give me a minute. See, I'm going to share with you what CA toppers have said. Okay, this is from the newspaper. No, this is from the website India Today. I just thought I'll share this with you so that it'll be kind of inspiration for you to know how to score well and how to get a rank. Okay, now look at this. I'll zoom it for you. So I'll read it out for you. CA toppers 2020 in top 3 ranks share their secrets for future CA aspirants. The Chartered Accountancy or CA exam is one of the toughest exams to crack, and many students who study commerce opt for this career path for a bright future. With the right preparation strategy, it is not too difficult to crack the CA exam. So that is the secret. Okay. The CA final 2020 exam got postponed 4 times due to the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown, but finally took place. While the CA 2020 foundation and intermediate courses exams were held in November 20 and January 21. We got talking to the 5 students who secured the top 3 ranks in these exams to understand more about how they tackled the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown while preparing, and asked for tips that can help future CA aspirants crack the exam. Now, this is Komal Kishore. Why choose CA? My father was an accountant by profession, and he was an inspiration to me. When I had to make a decision about my career, I realized that this profession empowers you financially since it helps you to take better financial decisions. This pushed me significantly to pursue a career as a CA. How did you feel with the repeated postponement of exam and lockdown problems? Postponement of exams was very depressing. There were times when I felt I could not go through the syllabus all over again. However, I did not want to proceed with such negativity for this exam. So with every announcement about a postponement, I took a complete break from studies for a couple of days to refresh myself and restart my preparations with renewed vigor. Additionally, my family was a great source of support who ensured that my preparations weren't derailed in any way on account of these uncertainties. So here is another one. To clear the CA exam, you must have patience, determination, and perseverance. CA is one of the most sought after and challenging professions in India, and your journey will be fraught with hurdles. It is essential to schedule your preparation on an hourly basis. Divide your time so that each subject gets enough time. In addition to this, practicing mock test papers is equally important and will help you in managing your time better and will undoubtedly boost your confidence. Okay, then here is another one. I think there are only 3. Oh, more than 3. No, then I'm going to stop here. Okay, so what do we understand by these statements? Regular, constant practice with your mock test question papers will help you. It will definitely help you. Okay. And repeatedly keep revising. I've given you a few exercises. I've asked you to copy it down. Go through those. That will help you. Okay. Now let's go on to the to some more complex sentences. Just give me a minute. I had a few more exercises. I'm just looking for that. I'll be there. Yeah. Yeah, I have a few sentences that can help you. Okay, so this is going to be a kind of test. Let me see how many of you can do it correctly. Okay, I hope. Yeah, I will share it. I'm not sharing it now. Just give me a minute and I'll share it. Oh. Uh, sharing. Yeah, give me. Yes, look at this. Label each type of sentence below. It says color code and all. No, you can take it down in your notebook. You don't have to post it. You may simply say you're done. So I told you you can take screenshots, but that doesn't mean you take a screenshot and say you're done. Please write in your notebooks. So I have, say, almost 10 sentences. I want you to identify what kind of sentences these are. Now look here. Color code and highlight the parts of each sentence. Independent clause, complete sentence on its own. Dependent is subject and verb, but not complete on its own. Conjunction, fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. That's called, hey, it's zoomed already. Okay. Rosie created a spectacular utopian society on Minecraft. What kind of sentence is that? Rosie created a spectacular utopian society, a spectacular utopian society on Minecraft. Quick, you will post one by one. Come on, and once we finish this exercise, we can have a break and then we'll come back to reported speech. Quick. What type of sentence is that? I hope I'm sharing. Am I sharing? Please post an S. Yes, I'm sharing. Yeah, simple, super, very good. Yes, perfect. Hey, Vivika, what is simplex? Oh my God. It is blurred? If maybe by Zoom. What about it now? Okay, next one. Ben enjoys watching football and his favorite team is the Seattle Shocks. That's okay if it is a little blurred, but I think you can make up. Yeah, what's the second sentence? Second sentence, quick. So unless you all start posting, I won't move to the second sentence. Quick. Super. Hey, Sakaldeep. How is that a simple one, man? Can't you see that it has two main verbs and two predicates? And you have a conjunction there. What? And look at this Tarun. He says complex. Oh my God, what do I do with Vivika? Okay, third sentence. Now we are working out the third sentence. Since Anthony finished the test early, he silently read his book. What's that? Third one. Quick. Come on, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll do just 5 sentences. Avinash, complex. Third one, since Anthony finished his test early, he silently read his book. No way. That is a simple sentence. We saw the similar sentence earlier. It's a simple sentence. Those of you who have written complex and compound, please check. Now look at the fourth sentence. This is a little tricky. While presenting to the class, Atticus spoke clearly and confidently, and Jet presented professionally. What kind of sentence is that? Quick, 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 quick. Do you think it's a complex compound sentence? Tell me why it can be a complex compound. Shall I say, while presenting to the class makes it complex. Atticus spoke clearly and confidently, and Jet presented professionally. So the last part of the sentence, it is complex compound, not compound complex. You have to be very clear while saying that. It is a complex compound. It starts off with a complex and then it becomes compound. Okay? The last part of the sentence has two subjects and two main verbs. And the first part is only a phrase which is dependent on the second part. Okay, this is the last sentence. Brian has begun an engaging e-portfolio to show off her best work is a simple sentence. Okay, now we break. We come back after 10 minutes. Quick. I'll close this and then we move on to reported speech. I'll give you 10 minutes. You can have a break. simple complex compound. Now we move on to reported speech. Now very quickly, I want you all to write or post in the chat box reporting verbs. For example, what are reporting verbs? Words which end with ed. Words which tell you that something is reported. For example, remarked, requested, pleased, told. Mostly ed words are, reporting verbs. Can you post in the chat box quickly, very quickly, ed words? Ordered, requested, remarked, informed, super, yes, instructed, quick. I want all of you to post. Quick. Now, as for reported speech, and I've already been telling you, active and passive, it's only the usage of by and the tense. The tense has to be the same, but it has to be changed to suit the usage of by. Okay? But in reported speech, you have a whole lot of things to change. You have to change the singular plural stuff. Look at that. You have to look at the adverb. You have to look at the usage of that. You have to change it to the reported speech. The reporting verb has to be used. So there are plenty of things that need to be changed. So I always advise my students to count the number of things that you need to change the moment you look at the sentence. And then it becomes easy for you to check whether you've done them all. Okay. Now let's go to the sharing. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to put it on slideshow because sometimes the sentences get hidden. So I'm not going to put them on a slideshow. Okay. 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 Look at these sentences. He said, I am playing. He said that he was playing. I want you to look very carefully at the sentences I show and read them so that you understand how they are done. Okay. So I becomes he. Pronoun is important. Okay. She said, I am painting. She said that she was painting. So am is a to be verb and therefore it relates to this pronoun here and therefore it is she here. Usage of that, am becomes was and then painting. She said that she was painting. Okay. Now let's look at the next sentence. He said, I did this exercise last night. He said that he had done. So did has to become done and therefore you say had. I'm explaining sentence by sentence, word by word, and I want you all to note it very carefully. Now look at the sentence. I'll read the question sentence. He said, I did this exercise last night. He said that he. How did I get this had here? Because did has to change to done, and therefore I have had. That he had done that exercise. Where did that come from? From this. From the this here. The first that is changing it into reported speech, you use that. The second that is from the sentence. Okay. He said that he had done that exercise the previous night. Last night becomes previous night. So if we have to look at the sentence, how many things have we changed? Remove the inverted commas. I becomes he. Did becomes had done. This becomes that. Last night becomes the previous night. So 5 things we have changed in the sentence. So you have to note down very carefully how many should you change in a given sentence. Now look at this. The inspector said, I am glad to be with you today. Let's look at how many things we need to change. The inspector said usage of that. He, then am becomes was. With him, glad to be with me. Today becomes that day. So 5 things again. The inspector said that he was glad. Am becomes was. He was glad to be with me that day. Okay. What changes did you notice? Omission of commas and use of that. That's the first step. Now let's look at that. A speaker's word can be reported in 2 ways. Exact words of a speaker. The teacher said to Rajesh, you have a bright future. Indirect speech. So where there is present tense and a sentence that can stand for the test of time, then you don't change the tense. You have a bright future is a sentence that need not have a past tense. It is relevant today, tomorrow, and for the future too. So what the speaker has said without using the exact words. Okay, look at that. The teacher told Rajesh that he had a bright future. So that he had a bright future. That's how we change it. It's quite easy. Yeah, it is. Now look at this. Now we go to change of tenses. Let's see how the tenses change. My friends say he is very handsome. My friends say that he is very handsome. Okay. You add that and you just write it the same way because it's a statement, universal statement that will apply for any times. My granny will say, you need to eat well. My granny will say that you need to eat well. So it's just a repetition. The teacher said to Rajesh, that he had a bright future. He had, that you have a bright future is also right. That is Harnoor. Okay, you're right. Now let's look at this one. Simple present becomes simple past. The girl said the flower is pretty. The girl said that the flower was pretty. Okay, so just the tense alone is becomes was. Now present continuous becomes past continuous. The old man said the rain is falling very heavily. Yes, you must change it to past perfect. If the sentence has perfect, then you also have to bring perfect here. Or if you have to use done, taken kind of words, then again you must use perfect. The old man said the rain is falling very heavily. The old man said that the rain was falling very heavily. Okay. Now look at this, present perfect. The principal said all the students have passed. The principal said that all the students had passed. Now simple past. Rohan said Sheetal arrived yesterday. Rohan said that Sheetal had arrived the previous day. So, as I've always been saying, the moment you look at the sentence, count the number of things you need to change. After you have changed, check whether you've done them all, check whether you've done the right things. Okay? Okay, now this is a good one. Personal pronouns change according to the SON formula. What is the SON formula? SON. First person subject, second person object, third person no change. Okay. if subject of the quoted words, you don't have to memorize the rules. Just know that the sun formula and you will remember it. He said to me, I like coffee. He told that he liked coffee. You can also say he told me that. Okay, here it is omitted. Okay, look at the next one. He said to me, you look happy. Okay, he told me that I looked happy. Why you is I here? Because it has to refer to the he there. Okay, now let's look at the last sentence. He said to me, she has already left. He told that she had already left. Yeah, it can also be that subject, object, no change. Yeah. Now look at this. The arrows are there to let you know how the pronouns are changed. Okay, first person. I said, I want to consult my parents. How does it change? I said that I wanted to consult my parents. Okay, I wanted, reported. I wanted to consult my parents. Now look at the second one. You said, I want to consult my parents. You said that you wanted to consult your parents. You see how it changes. You can note these down so that you remember them when you go for your exam. She said, I want to consult my parents. She said that she wanted to consult her parents. Okay, because it is she. The subject is she. Okay. Anil said to me, your parents are waiting for you. Anil told me that my parents were waiting for me. Anil said to you, your parents are waiting for you. Anil told you that your parents were waiting for you. See, I want you to note down these changes. Notice them very carefully and see how they are changed. Okay. Anil told you that your parents were waiting for you. That's done. Anil said to him, your parents are waiting for you. Anil told him that his parents were waiting for him. Okay, now look at this. I said to you, he should be trusted. I told you that he should be trusted. There is no change except for the that. She said she is looking for a job. She said that she was looking for a job. So is becomes was. That's the only change. Change of adverbs. How do adverbs? Yeah, it's not difficult at all. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see how we change adverbs. Now what I'm going to do is give you 5 minutes time to memorize this because there's no other way you'll remember it. You will note it down as a table form. You'll also memorize that. Quick. So that you remember. This is adverbs of time and place. It is so simple, definitely. Once you understand the mechanics, it's pretty simple. Done? Okay, I'll wait for 2 more minutes for the others to finish. Yeah, I'm giving you a minute more for the slow writers so that they write fast. I don't want anybody to say, ma'am, you rush through. Okay. Super, Divya. Yes. Okay, let me move on. Now, look at this. He said, I shall discuss this matter next week and see how it is changed. He said that he would discuss that matter the following week. Okay. She said, we shifted to this house 2 weeks ago. She said that they shifted. No, they had shifted because it's already done. An action done already. They had shifted to that house 2 weeks before. You see. Okay, now before going on to, I think it's quite a number of rules that we have seen. Why is reported speech important? Okay, reported speech is very, very, very important, especially for CAs, because when you go for articleship, internship, and when you take up your jobs as CA, your reports are the ones that people look for. Okay, how is a report useful? It is a legal document. That's number one. It's documenting. This is a good question, Sakaldeep. The sentence says, I shall discuss this matter. I shall discuss. Okay, so that's not something that is already discussed or is being discussed. It will be done in the future. Therefore, it is would discuss. You will not say he said that he should discuss. No, it should be would, because it's in the future. He would discuss that. Okay, now I was talking to you about report writing. So whenever you go for audits, you're expected to write reports. And what will your reports have? Reports of facts that you see and observe, reports of your findings, reports of what is okay, what's not okay. So most companies have good auditors who write good reports. Based on the reports, they tailor their systems in the office. What has gone wrong, why something has gone wrong, did something yield profit or no, all these kind of things the company gets to study only through reports. And for CAs, report writing is very important, and therefore reported speech becomes very, very, very important for you. Okay, so you need to know how to write reports in the third person very objectively, where you don't have your own saying. You write a list of things that you observe and you say whoever said what, and that makes your report really interesting. So when you do the report writing chapter, you'll get to know the format and how it is done, and you will see that it is written in past tense. Okay, it is to give you or prepare your mind to writing reports that we do reported speech first, and it's also tested in your foundation paper. Tomorrow we will do more of this. We still have time. We still have half an hour. We will do some more sentences. So tomorrow we will do more sentences, more exercises, and we will also do all the question papers. So that will give you a clear idea as to how to go about reported speech. Actually, reported speech starts off, if I remember right, from class 3. But, many candidates still have plenty of doubts because they are not told clearly that it's this and that it's going to be useful for you, right? Therefore, they lose that seriousness and think, oh my God, it's okay. Yeah, we will do previous question papers. No, only tomorrow after I finish this. Thank you, Sonali. We will do the previous question papers as much as time permits, as many as we can. But that's tomorrow, after we finish knowing all the rules. Okay. Before that, if we do, you may not know how to do it or why something was done that way. So better you know it first, and then we do the question papers. That's for Rohan Kumar. Okay, I shall discuss. He said, I shall discuss this matter next week. He said that he would discuss that matter the following week. She said, we shifted to this house 2 weeks ago. She said that they had shifted to that house 2 weeks before. What is that MTP and RTP? I don't know. You have to give me the explanation. That's Tarun. What is MTP and RTP? I don't know. You have to give me the expansion. Yeah, Tarun, I'm waiting for you. Hello? Okay, let's not. Okay, now this is very, very tricky. You know what happens in a question sentence? Most of us Indians make mistakes when we ask a question. Let me tell you, mock test paper and revision test paper, see, you can do it, right? Don't expect me to do everything. I will be doing the board papers, so I don't have to do the mock test paper. Second sentence, she said we shifted to this house 2 weeks ago. So she said that they had shifted because this was an action that was done already. Okay, you have to get the meaning of the sentence to change it. Okay, mock test and revision test. But I will be doing your board papers, not the mock test and the revision test. That's tomorrow anyway. She said that they had shifted to that house 2 weeks before. Okay. Now, I was talking to you about question sentences. Question sentences are very important. What is important in a question sentence? Your sentence structure is important. What happens with Indians, our native languages, whether you call it Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, all these language has a definite pattern. And what we do is we bring in that sentence structure into English, which is not English at all. I'll tell you, for example, the question, what is your name? Okay. What is the WH word? Then you have the verb. Then you have the pronoun your, and then you have the name, and then a question mark. Suppose you were to ask this in Hindi, Tumhara naam kya hai? Tumhara comes first, naam comes second, kya comes third, hai comes fourth. You see the order of the words in an English sentence and a Indian sentence is totally different. And many of us make mistakes while we ask questions because we have our native language interference. Okay. Yeah. So now let's look at this. A question has to be changed into a statement sentence. Many times, what do? We ask a statement sentence and we say, to let people know that it's a question. Your name, that's not a question sentence at all. What is your name? Has got to be the question sentence. Okay, now let's look at this. A question is changed into a statement. In a direct yes or no question, reporting verb is changed into ask or inquire. And if or whether is used. She said, are you writing a poem? She asked me whether I was writing a poem. You can also say, she asked me if I was writing a poem. Both are right. I said to him, do you know when she will go home? I asked him if he knew. Do you know? Okay. if he knew when she would go home. Now, you see, if he knew when she would go home. A question sentence is quite a tricky sentence to change. You have to be very, very careful while changing it into reported speech. And mind you, such tricky sentences will be asked. Okay, now look at this. In case of question words like who, how, where, etc., some same word is used to introduce the reported speech. Where do you live? She asked me. She asked me where I lived. See, where you becomes I, live becomes lived. She asked me. You cannot say she asked me, where do I live? Then that again becomes a question sentence. It is not in the reported form. So you have, when you change question sentences, you have to be careful. Divya, I just know this sentence because I need to tell you what's the difference. And therefore, I just know this sentence. I don't know Hindi. Yeah. So he asked, how do you write poems? He asked me how I wrote poems. How I wrote. If I say, how do you write? That's the direct speech. If I say, how I wrote, that's the reported speech. Okay, imperative sentences. How do we change imperative? What are imperative sentences? Order sentences. Okay, we say, please, advise, etc. Now, in imperative sentences, reporting verb is changed into ask or advise or request. The tense remains the same. The verb is put in the infinitive to. Now look at this. I said, take your seat. I asked him to. So in imperative sentences, you must remember to use to plus verb. I asked him to take his seat. Okay. He said, give me some food, please. He said, he asked or he requested me to give him some food. Hey, Aditi, that's a wrong one. You are requested to, you are advised to, what's that? Oh, yeah, you can use. So he requested me to give him some food. If please is there, you should say requested. Okay. Exclamatory sentence. Let's look how this is changed. Reporting verb is changed into exclaimed with joy, sorrow, anger, surprise, etc. And that is also used. He said, how beautiful a place. He exclaimed with joy. See, with joy is something that you add because, he's saying it with happiness. He exclaimed with joy that it was a very beautiful place. Rohan said, alas, his father died. Rogan said with sorrow that his father had died. Is there any structure to change direct to indirect? That's what we are doing now. Those are the structures we are looking at. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's check what we have learned. I'm not going to check now. I'm not going to test you. Tomorrow what I will do is I'll go through these again with you with the slides, then do the exercises that I have, and then do the board papers. Then it will be a complete lesson and you will understand it thoroughly. Okay. Now, I will give you 10 minutes time for you can ask me any questions, doubts related to the chapter. Please don't jump the chapters. Don't ask me about exam dates, postponement and advancing things, all that, because I cannot answer those kind of questions. Ask me doubts if you have. based on whatever we have done today and the previous class. I will give you 10 minutes time to ask me if you have any questions. Quick. And tomorrow I'll do the board papers because that will help you remember, also will help you know how to do it. You may post your doubts if you have. Otherwise, you will answer these 3 questions. 1, what did you learn today? 2, what will you remember? 3, how did you like the session? When will be the next class? Next class is on Friday. What is the maximum marks? 40 marks. You can get all full 40. Don't worry. How to find complex area? I've taken so much time to let you know. Okay. In very, very complex compound sentence, if the first part is the complex and the next part is a compound, then it is a complex compound. If the first part is compound and then the next one is complex, then you call it compound complex. Yeah, paper pattern will be the same. MCQs I have integrated here in my session for you to understand. But in your question paper, you will only have sentences. Maximum is 40. You can get full 40. If there is no object, we'll come to that. Tomorrow when we do request or ordering sentences, you will know how we use may I or let that shut the door. We say let the door be shut. Okay. If we use let or may. That's for Liza. The corporation's sales and service organization covers the country. The country is covered by the corporation's sales and service organization. Just that. What is it, Divya? Yeah, I answered you. Yeah, yes, Lakshita. Yeah, Divya. Thank you, Bhumika. You remember everything. Please post it so that when you write, that will be a kind of recall for you. Yes, interjection removed and exclamatory. Quick, I want all of you to post 3 answers. One is, what did you learn? What will you remember? How did you like the session? Ram told Rita that he will shoot her, not you. Yeah, quick, I'm waiting for you. Hey, come on, Saima. All this while, 2 hours, I've been talking only about that. He said you are learning. He said that I was learning. Reported speech is what we have explained. I've said anyway, I will be discussing all these slides tomorrow again so that you will remember it well. This is Sheikh. How does it matter if I'm a Telugu or a Tamilian or a Kannadiga or a Keralite? I'm an Indian. Yeah. எங்க இருக்கீங்க? Hello, hello. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So no. It's not yet over because they are giving me, telling me, asking me their doubts. Just wait. I don't know Telugu, Sheikh. Yes, we will recheck the ICAI answer book. You mean the study material? Study material is for you to work on, and I will do the board papers. The prices are shooting up alarmingly. The shopkeepers said that the prices are shooting up alarmingly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This is for Sakaldeep. Don't worry, Sakaldeep. Don't ever say that I'm weak in English. Language is such an easy thing. God has given us the brain to learn a language, any language. The language that you expose yourself to is a language that you will start speaking naturally. You want to speak well in English? Listen to plenty of good English models. You want to speak in Latin? Listen to Latin. That's the only way. Listen to and try to use whatever you've heard. That's the best way. Don't ever excuse yourself by saying, oh no, I'm weak. I've come from Hindi medium. I've come from Tamil medium. No, that's not the way. You are young and we need you. India needs you. Okay. So see that you learn up everything. Now is the time for you to skill yourself. Build yourself well, build up your profile, and see that you are the best. Yeah, that's for Liza. We have learned how to classify. Direct. Okay. Yeah, study material, work out the exercises. How to tell how are you in Tamil? நீ எப்படி இருக்க? Yeah. I'm not audible. No, my changing on the uses, when to use what form. Okay. When we started direct and indirect with Lakshita, we started just today. We started only today. Because we've done quite a number of rules, and that's the reason why I wanted to stop it now. What's that Avaj? Divya Kumari, I don't understand. Avaj Areha. I don't understand. I can understand some words in Hindi, but I can't understand all. Yeah. What is your name in Tamil? Un peyar enna? Sayama. Quick, I'm waiting for all your posts because that's the only thing that lets us know whether we are on the same page, whether you understand what I'm saying, whether I'm fast or I'm slow. Okay, so see that you post your yes, Sakaldeep. You see, listening works like magic. Listen to the English news where you don't have the moving picture. News in news from the radio, not from the TV. Because there you will have moving pictures and you will not listen carefully. It has to be from the radio. Listen to podcasts. That's a great way to, I can show you how to listen to podcast. Give me a minute because some of you, I think, are looking up for that. Just give me a minute and I'll show you how to go to the Google podcast. Yeah, just give me a minute and I will share that with you. Okay. Yeah, here we are. Now I'm sharing my screen. Okay. I'm sharing my mailbox. You see, my photo is here. That's my mailbox. I click on that. No, I don't click on that. I click on the 9 dots that are here. Okay. And I go down, scroll down, down. And here you see Google Podcast. Click on that. Okay. And then you see in Google Podcast, you have many things. You have Ghana Music, 3 things, Elon Musk podcast, American Life, plenty of things. But if you want to improve your English, then you know where you must go to? You must go to BBC 1 minute English. It's only for 1 minute, it's only for 1 minute. So nobody can say, ma'am, I didn't have any time. It's called 1 minute world news. Okay, click on that and you see you get this, and this is for a minute. It comes every day. It's an everyday text. Will be easy for you. Now look at that. I want you to listen to this. This is only 1 minute.
This is BBC World News. The headlines. There's been an explosion at an ammunition store
You
in
also
Crimea.
have the
Russian Ministry of
speed
Defense
limit here.
blamed a fire at a military base.
Look here.
Video posted on social media showed plumes of smoke rising above Ch-2 in
See?
Crimea.
It becomes slow.
Ukraine's president has called on world leaders to impose more sanctions
You want
on
it
Russia
faster?
to force its troops to withdraw from Europe's biggest nuclear power plant. Mr. Zelensky said a catastrophe at the Zaporizhzhia power station would threaten the entire region. Kenya's new president-elect, William Ruto, says he wants to unite the country after his narrow election victory.
How should you use this?
Following nearly a
Play
week
this
of counting, the authorities
and
announced
start
on Monday that
writing
Mr. Ruto
what
had
you hear.
defeated his rival,
That will
Raila
help you with
Odinga.
English grammar, sentence
Donald Trump's
structure.
former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, has been told by US prosecutors he's a target of their criminal investigation into attempts to overturn the presidential election results.
Okay, that's only for a minute and you will see it works like magic. Okay, we'll go to one more. You also have 55-second news. Okay.
This is BBC World News. The headlines.
Yes,
it's
it gets
1 year
updated
since
every
the
day.
Taliban swept into Kabul and retook control of Afghanistan, prompting scenes of chaos as people try to flee. Life for women and girls in particular is extremely different now. The agent of the author, Sir Salman Rushdie, who is in a US hospital following a stabbing attack, has said he is on the road to recovery.
What you can do is, to make it work, you can listen to the news in your native language and then listen to the BBC News. Then you will be able to understand better. Okay, you won't feel left out. You can increase the speed, you can lower the speed. Listening to the news and writing it as you hear will give you great confidence to use the language. Okay? Yes, and now your feedback as to what you learned and what you remember and how did you like the session? Quick. Listening will help you increase your vocabulary, increase your fluency, increase your sentence structures. You will know what are collocations, you will know what are phrasal verbs. You will get it naturally. You don't have to make an effort. By constant listening, your subconscious mind will store up all these things and use it whenever you need it. That's how language is built. See, I understood all concepts is a very general term. You must be able to say specifically what you learned. That's important. Yeah, I learned today, Direct, now what is phrase, clause, and okay. Quick, I'm waiting for you. Yeah, it is a worldwide language. I will be very happy if all of you get 40 on 40. That's the reason why I do my homework the best way. Yeah, Sayema, why not? There are plenty. I graduated in Tamil Nadu. See, I don't want you to wonder why I'm always turning my face like that because I'm looking at your question box from another device. Learning is a continuous process, and trust me on that. You listen to Google podcast every day, that 1 minute news, and write what you hear. You will see what a difference it makes. It works like magic. Yeah, see you on Friday and bye bye. Yeah, Priyamvada,